as we both know, the first one is the Himno Nacional de México, and the second one is the Star Spangled Banner. Hola, mi nombre es Jennifer García, tengo 17 años y vivo en Aurora, Illinois. Hola, hello, my name is Jennifer Garcia, I'm 17 years old and I live in Aurora, Illinois. Let's talk about communication. There was a time where I walked into a store and Hispanic was trying to talk to a white person, but they couldn't communicate. So I was able to step up and be a good person and be able to help them communicate with each other. I went up to the Hispanic person and I was like, "Oh, necesita ayuda," and I've never seen someone smile so big. She just smiled. She had a big smile and she was like, "Oh, sí, necesito ayuda. Muchas gracias por estar aquí, por poder hablar español. Me tengo que comunicar con ella, pero no me entiende." And I was able to help them communicate and help her get what she wanted. And I mean, my parents have always taught me to be helpful, even when I know that it's not a big deal, but I mean, it can be if they're not able to talk to each other. But there's also some people who get mad over, like, if you try to talk to them in Spanish and they're like, "Oh, I can speak English too." I mean, I don't mind and I don't get offended because I mean that's okay, but I've the way my parents have always taught me is how to be respectful and responsible. There's in an article by the Federation for American Immigration Reform, it states that there's roughly 12.5 million undocumented people in the U.S., which that's a lot. And according to the Pew Research Center, about 250,000 babies are born to unauthorized immigrants' parents in the U.S. in 2016. And well, I'm one of them. We never know what someone is going through until we ask. So I asked my parents. And my parents are from Jalisco, Mexico, both of them. My mom and my dad are both born in Mexico. And they don't understand how proud I am of them. Like, they're so dedicated and hardworking, both of them. My dad, he did not graduate high school. He did not go to college. He did not graduate middle school. He did not graduate elementary school. He only went up to third grade. And from third grade, my grandpa took him out of school and had him working in the fields, working hard. And in 1996, they both moved here. In 1995, they both moved here. They had my brother in 1996, and they had 5 years later, they had me in 2001, and I'm around 5 years apart from my brother. My older brother is he's studying at College of the Page, and he's majoring in computer science. So he's making my parents proud. And my dad is crazy because, as I said, he did not graduate high school or anything, and he's able to fix cars, great with mechanics, great with plumbing, great with everything. He works with patios. He makes patios outside in your garden. He works with garden. He does landscaping. He does so many things. And I mean, my mom is the same way. She's such a hardworking person. Whenever I need anything, she's there. I mean, she's crazy. Like, both of them, I think they're the most amazing people in my whole entire life. If they ever ask me, who do you look up to? The first person I'm obviously gonna say are my parents. Who do you look up to? Who are my heroes? My parents are my heroes. And when I was in second grade, I was around 8 years old. I had to go to Mexico, and I feel for 8 months, and I feel like that was a great change in my life because I knew Spanish and I knew English as an eight-year-old, but here it was so different because here I spoke Spanish, and in school I spoke English, but it was not the same because over there I had to go straight Spanish, and I think switching our languages was a big deal in my childhood because according to the Center for Parenting Education, being an 8-year-old is the beginning of an abstract of thinking/learning. So that's the time where you're developing how to keep things in your mind, how to get used to stuff. And I mean, I was so used to just speaking English in school and at home speaking Spanish, and over there I had to just speak Spanish. My parents were like, "Dude, like, just," I would say something in English and my mom was like, no tienes que hablar español, si no te van a ver mal inglés, porque si no te van a ver mal aquí. And I was like, I mean, I think it was a great change in my life. And I thought that being Mexican American is very tough. Selena Quintanilla, a Mexican singer once said that I'm not Mexican enough for Mexicans, and I'm not white enough for Americans. Yes, I love my culture, and yes, it's hard to be who I am, but I'm proud to be Latina. I'm proud to live here in the United States, and but still in my heart be Mexican, and all the traditions that we do, everything's so different, and being able to speak two languages, I feel like that's the most amazing thing ever. I'm in I'm in German class, but it's not the same as being able to speak Spanish and communicate because I mean, there's a lot of people, like I said, there's 12.5 million undocumented people. So that means that they're speaking Spanish, so it's easier to communicate with them. And Gracie Avila once said that being Mexican American, naces y creces en los Estados Unidos con sangre mexicana, amas la banda, el mariachi, los tamales, las tradiciones mexicanas, la vida en el pueblo. But I also love rap, hamburgers, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and life here in the US. Nuestro español no es perfecto, and neither is our Spanish or English. Nos critican por querer a Estados Unidos, but put us down because we're too Mexican. Estamos entre dos mundos, porque no estamos ni aquí ni allá. Somos mexicanos americanos y vulcanos en un conflicto de identidad por amor a nuestras dos culturas. We are in between two worlds, that we are neither here nor there. We are Mexican Americans engaged in a constant conflict of identity to our love for our two countries. So I'm here to tell you that we aren't all the same as we live, but we shouldn't live in a society where we just judge someone by their accent or how they are, the color of their skin. Because if we can equally accomplish goals and that we set ourselves, I think that's the only thing that matters. And we shouldn't be ashamed of being Mexican American because for me, I'm proud of who I am.